Warning: this video contains strong language and controversial opinions. If you are not a fan of such content, I will advise you to not watch it. Hello everyone! The greatly awaited video is finally here! Not due to any long-term plans though. You see, when in the moment of great triumph of righteousness some maggot starts whining, it is only natural to call it out. Is it not? Yeah, I am aware that this type of video is different from what I have made before, mostly essays on the topic of anime and manga, and few shitposts. But hey, at least I have returned, and my throat is usable again, so you will hear me clearly enough while I deliver some harsh truth in the face of leftist retardation and lies. For some context, Penguin Zero, Moistcritical, or just Charlie, those are the usernames used consistently by one of the larger content creators on YouTube. His claim to fame is sitting in front of a camera with a poker face and delivering jokes and wordplay at the level of a 10-year-old, poorly mannered little boy. All of that while commentating on a very broad spectrum of topics, including funny products, stupid people being stupid, Reddit antics, and sometimes politics. The last one is going to be the topic of the video, as you have probably guessed already. You see, although Moist usually takes the safest route possible and fences the shit out of anything more controversial than dumb bike being dumb, his inner goblin breaks free when politics come into play. It happened once before, and it ended for him with weeks of shame, a situation which I will touch upon later, but apparently he either learned nothing from it or he simply felt safe enough to say what he did. And he did say a lot, including stuff that would get the door to his fucking gated villa kicked in the next hour if he had lived under a truly proper and competent right-wing government. But what made the fence-sitting cuck fume with rage to this extent? You see, yesterday something funny occurred down in Minnesota. A leftist degenerate with a very interesting phenotype, Alex Peretti, was killed by Border Patrol servicemen while violently resisting arrest.
Honestly!
He arrived in the place of action with a singular goal in mind, that all leftists at the core possess: to be a traitorous scum and make the lives of people actually productive to society a tad miserable. The only good kind of feds, the one that gets rid of savages living in the country illegally, was there to deal with the Somalis. Our junky-looking terrorist was there to defend the right of violent criminals to stay in USA and commit further fraud. Somalis, you see, are a really hot topic now, especially in Minnesota, because of a viral video by Nick Shirley, who exposed widespread fraud at several Somali-run daycare centers in Minneapolis and the violent and boorish nature of the fraudsters, proving the buildings were empty while receiving millions in taxpayer funds. This brought national attention to Minnesota's childcare funding programs and caused great uproar amongst the Browns, who wanted to continue their lucrative operations. Such was the cause the freak who died yesterday decided to fight for. And fight he did! After BP agents tried to apprehend his ass for obstructing the duty and being a general nuisance, he decided he won't go that easily, and started fighting them on the ground. All of that well armed. Not with an ordinary weapon though. No. He carried a pistol modified for longer range combat and immense amount of ammo. This is not the type of gear you bring to a protest if you want to spread love and joy. This fucker was here to gun down ICE and Border Patrol members. Statements from his family seem to confirm it. After he had been disarmed, a wild card event occurred. 40 pieces of junk misfired in the hands of the servicemen handling it, shooting at the ground. This, as one may have guessed, caused the BP to open fire on Alex. You know, the violent communist rioter who was actively resisting arrest while that happened. People panicked, justifiable so I would say, and thus, Pretty is no longer able to suck on female penis and enjoy his fentanyl high, or whatever the hell he was up to in his free time. And now comes Moist, clad in white, defender of the retarded and unruly, decimator of law and order.
I actually filmed this video earlier this morning when the story first broke. It's the killing of Alex Pretty in Minnesota at the hands of border agents. And I made the video, but I was pretty heated and I wanted to kind of simmer down and take a break, so I went out before posting it. I just got home, and now even more angles and videos have been released that show beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a 100% unjustified killing of an American citizen here. And
Moist apparently was accumulating rage in his scrawny form for numerous years of his monotone, slop-filled career, because throughout the video he's frothing at the mouth.
He simply had it on him, which he was well within his right to do, and he got murdered for it. This is completely unacceptable, and the fucking drones that are somehow like parading around like this is some kind of victory or something is sickening. It should be viewed as treasonous by any real Americans when you see this footage. No sane person would ever mistake a phone for a gun. This is blatantly obvious what they're trying to do, and it's something they've been doing a lot recently, trying to tell you that what you're seeing isn't real. Trust their words, not your eyes. That is completely fucking outrageous, and people are willingly doing it.
He's eager to distract from the core of the situation by any means necessary, resisting arrest while armed and the weapon misfiring in the hands of a border patrol agent. An accident. So, let's go over his arguments and see how actually easy it is to utterly dismantle them, shall we?
His name was Alex Pretty, a 37-year-old nurse who worked in the ICU at Minneapolis VA healthcare system, and according to the police chief, he is a U.S. citizen with no prior interactions with law enforcement outside of a couple of traffic tickets, and believed to be a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry.
And what about it? It's gonna be that easy? He was a lawful citizen, or rather one that avoided arrest so far, but he stopped being one when he decided to show up to a riot and violently obstruct the officers. If I walked up to you and punched you in the balls, would you care that I have no prior record of delivering low blows to manlets? He also skips the part with the rogue bullet to make it seem like they started to shoot for no reason at all. There is some rambling about a phone in his hand and no weapon being drawn after he got maced, but it serves merely as a distraction from the real cause of the shooting, an accident I have mentioned before.
And if that wasn't definitive, there is something even more clear that I think is completely irrefutable for anyone that's actually looking. An agent takes Alex's gun out of its holster in front of the agent that pulls out his gun and shoots him. So he can see the gun has been taken out of the holster. And it is clear, Alex Pretty has both hands on the ground. He does not have a gun in them. And an agent reaches in and takes it out of the holster right before another agent pulls out his firearm and shoots him in the back. Just in case you somehow missed it, look, the agent in gray has his hand on Alex's weapon, which is still holstered. It was never unholstered. This agent takes it out of its holster before he runs away with it, and the officer right next to him is the one that pulls out his gun and shoots him.
Apparently agents are supposed to be certain that the suspect does not have any other guns on him or something. If one is skilled and, well, rich enough, he can hide even as many as 10 pistols on him. Why would someone do that? They probably wouldn't. But a chance of someone having a one surprise down his sock is relatively high.
It's not grounds to execute a man because you fucking freaked out and panicked because the guy you were beating and pistol whipping with fucking 5 of your friends happened to be armed. This is indefensible. Completely indefensible. And the fact that they even took him to the ground in the first place and started beating him, with one guy pistol whipping him, by the way. In other angles, you can see a guy just like pistol whipping him like he's trying to hammer a nail in with his gun. Like, it should have never even been acceptable for that to happen. All Alex Pretty was doing was filming, and then when some civilians started getting pushed, he tried to help. And when one got pepper sprayed, he tried to help. From all available angles and evidence and videos here, it seems to be that's all he was doing.
This is not even an argument for if the shooting was justified. This is retarded leftist nonsense. If the violent suspect is resisting arrest, especially during a riot, it is the right of the officers to use direct force. The only issue I actually have with pistol whipping here is that the weapon can go off. It is a bit of a reckless maneuver in my opinion. But it's nothing that crosses the line, especially not towards the fucking bastard who is resisting you. Mind you, this is not the only case where he talked like that about brave men who risk their safety, health and life. And fingers because communists are rodents, literally and figuratively. Personally, I wouldn't even bother with arresting those treacherous scumbags, but you know, we can't really have that. At least not yet. Trump remains the strongest on the lectern, not in action. I have in mind many funnier and more efficient solutions personally. After all, being given courtesy of being treated like an ordinary criminal while actively fighting for the destruction of your country, not of your race though, is the moderate option.
Multiple times by these agents, all because of him exercising his Second Amendment rights.
The last time I checked, Second Amendment is for the righteous, not the criminals. It exists for the normal people to defend themselves from the scum of society. It does not allow one to take his modified pistol, shit ton of ammo, wobble over to a riot and start shit with the Border Patrol agents doing their job. If you tried to make this argument about Second Amendment to the Founding Fathers, they would laugh in your face. And probably hang you, that too. They didn't fuck around back then. People were harsh in those times, like goddamn.
This point that they're trying to beat into the empty minds of a lot of people that are trying so hard to justify it is that the only people being arrested and targeted by ICE are rapists and pedophile illegal aliens. Which is just not the case. There definitely have been rapists and pedophiles that have been snatched up in all of this, and those rapists and pedophiles that have been caught and taken away, that's good. They shouldn't be out there breathing the free air. Great. But that's not all that's happening here.
ICE is not an anti-pedophile force. They are responsible for deportation. The fact that they remove so many rapists and pedos only shows that importing third world to your city also brings third world problems to it en masse.
You could also right now march into the White House and arrest everyone in the White House, and you would get a ton of rapists and pedophiles. An administration is actively covering up a massive child sex trafficking operation and letting tons of evil people get away with this, tons of clients. So
I mean, sure, that is something I can agree on. Something most of the right-wingers do agree on, contrary to what you have said. However, are you certain you are the right person to make demands like that? To call for the punishment of child groomers? After all, a while ago you had a pretty popular pedo-off with Sneeko on the stream, trying to prove to each other which type of child rape is the acceptable one, the goat-fucking desert one, or the progressive woke one. Was it not yours fucking mouth that said those words back then, you fucking freak?
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting.
Did you think we forgot? Unfortunately we didn't. Now, let me express some of my own opinions on how the situation with the flood of America by foreign illegal aliens is being handled. If you are a person who uses Twitter, it shouldn't come as a surprise that I believe the measures taken are insufficient. Yeah, you did shot a commie, a fat lesbian, and deported few millions of the immigrants. Cool, very cool. Too bad that the amount of them you have tossed out is not even the 1/10th of the amount necessary to make a small dent in the relentless wave that is washing over American cities. The longer it goes on, and the longer the actions of ICE and Border Patrol resemble more of a pretend game than actual effort, the more frustration on the real right-wing side grows towards Trump and his administration. After all, he was elected by the people of USA to get rid of illegals, not to pretend to do so, all while importing gorillions of H-1B jets and Chinese spies camouflaged as exchange students. The time for half-assed attempts was over a long time ago. The American people and the rest of the world, for which the states are a symbol of changes and a signpost of action, did not vote for that. Nobody wanted the country to go back to the 90s liberalism. Most of us wish that it will be pushed back into the normalcy of the 30s. Maybe 40s. Not this. Why are the communists not being shot with full auto by squads while they try to obstruct the righteous deportations, causing riots, biting off the fucking fingers of your agents? Why are the trannies still allowed to groom children on Discord? Why is the Civil Rights Act still not repealed? Why do we still feel like we are losing even though your fat pumpkin ass was in the office for a fucking year? And with that, it is time for me to head out. I was actually in a pretty good mood while making it, but some things in politics need to be marked with louder voice, harsher voice, so they hit more precisely, yeah? Also, let me mention that I still have hope in my heart for changes leading to a bright future, And obviously, I still have immense hatred for communism in my soul, even though the actions of Trump have been kinda lackluster. So, in summary, rest in peace, Alex Pretti, and fuck you, Moistcritical. Fuck you.